So first of all, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. You can just hit that notification bell and you'll get alerted every single time I upload a new video, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you like this kind of content, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up so that I know to make more of it. Now, I made a video, gosh, probably almost a year now, about Maison Louise Marie that you all seemed to really like. I personally think sometimes it's hard to talk about fragrance over video because obviously it's not like makeup, you can't see it, you can't smell it, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of walk through each one of these fragrances that I have here today. Now, the theme of this is a lot more than just fragrance. It's actually about fall fragrances. So I really like taking the seasonal approach with fragrances, just like I do with my clothes. So I rotate the ones that I have easy access to, and then the ones that I'm not using, some of the more lighter summery scents, like that Maison Louise Marie or Tam Dao by Diptyque. And then I just put those on a higher shelf in my little beauty cabinet, and I bring the ones front and center that I want to be wearing in the fall. Now, two of these are staples that I wear year after year. I mean, I think they're a part of my identity, not to be cheesy, but I think fragrance really does sort of make up a bit of your identity. It's the first thing a lot of people, other than what they look at, it's the scent, it's their memories of you. And so two of these are scents that will always be in my collection. And then two of these are actually brand new perfumes. I really went out on a limb this year and I experimented with some new perfumes, sometimes successfully, sometimes not successfully. So I'm not sharing the not successful ones here because I already talked about that in a beauty pie video, which I'll link above and below. But I'm very excited to say that I've added two new fragrances to the family. So let's start with the ones that are a staple in my fragrance collection. I'm gonna start with Labo. So that is a perfume company that actually used to be independent. It's now owned by Estee Lauder, but I haven't seen a change in the quality, which is nice, other than the fact you can just get it in a lot of places now, like most department stores like Saks or Liberty London, or you can get it on the internet, you can get it everywhere. So you can see that I've had this bottle for quite a while, and yes, it is expensive. This bottle, I'm gonna use the World Wide Web to assist me. This bottle retails for $219. That might give you guys a little bit of a sticker shock, but I'm telling you, you're gonna have this for a very long time. Of course, if you take care of it, if you keep it out of direct sunlight, things like that, because a little bit goes a long way. This perfume definitely falls into the strong category, in my opinion. And you really only need one spray, two sprays maybe. Like, you don't wanna do a lot more than that because you're gonna smell like it all day long. Your clothes are gonna smell like it far after you've even been wearing them. So Noir 29 is definitely a strong fragrance, but one of my absolute favorites. It's one of those fragrances that people will stop and ask you, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? So let's look at what it's made up of. Noir 20, and this is a 50 milliliter bottle. So Noir 29 is made of light notes of bergamot, fig, bay leaves, cedarwood, vetiver, and musk. It has a heart of black tea leaves, and they recall the dry leafy aroma of tobacco and hay. So yeah, I don't think this is that musky personally. So I get a lot more bergamot, cedarwood, whatever vetiver is, but highly recommend either getting a little tester of this or maybe going into a department store where you can smell this, because I promise you it's just one of those really incredible fragrances. The nice thing too is Labo also expands their fragrances into sort of like body lotion, massage oil, literally anything you could think of putting fragrance into, you can get with Noir 29 in it. So if you're one of those people that likes to have your body wash, and they even did a collaboration with the laundress, so you could get your detergent to smell like Labo, even though they didn't do one with Noir 29, which is a miss in my book, but whatever. So that's another nice thing, is you can get the entire range. It's also a really great perfume to give as a gift because you can get this really cool personalized feature on it. So my bottle is extremely old, but you can see here that it'll tell you exactly where the bottle was made. So this one was made in Nolita, New York, that store. And then it can say who was it made for, and it can actually put your name on it. So last year in, for example, my Liberty Advent calendar, it said this was made in Liberty, London, and it was made for you. Merry Christmas, which was like such a cute little thing. And so even though unfortunately my name is now worn off of this, it did used to say that this was made for me. So that's also a cool thing about this fragrance, is it's a nice thing to sort of give as a gift. I need to get comfortable because we're just really getting into it here. Second staple in my fragrance collection is a Tom Ford fragrance. So I don't know if you can see this, but I have, that was my hip that just popped. Did you hear that? Tell me you're old without telling me you're old. See how much I have left in here? I'm really down to the wire on this one, which is very upsetting. This is another very expensive, not very, I mean, it's all relative, but it's an expensive fragrance. I'm gonna look up exactly how much it was. Well, the first thing that came up on Google search is that, is it discontinued, which is very unsettling to me because this is, I think, one of those harder to get sort of limited edition-y fragrances. I know that my boyfriend got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago in New York somewhere. Oh yeah, it's online right now for $439 on Amazon. Someone's clearly reselling it. So, oh my God, I do think this was discontinued, which is insanely upsetting to me. And it makes this little amount that I have left of it extremely precious. This is the 100 milliliter size, but honestly, Tom Ford in general just makes really great fragrances. So I would also recommend going to a department store, trying a bunch of these out because I'm sure they have other great ones. This is very upsetting. So they say the scent is sandalwood. Wow, okay, so apparently this was launched by Tom Ford in 2013. This has blends of sandalwood, agarwood, patchouli, and rose. So like what a fun combination. I was gonna say crazy, but it's more of a beautiful combination of things. And oh my God, it's just fantastic. This I would also put in the strong category, not as strong as the Labo, I'd say medium strong, but still definitely hangs on. This is not a fragrance for the meek, and I might just be saying all of this in vain because you might not be able to get it anyway, but I'm telling you, I love this fragrance. Now let's go into the brand new fragrances that I have picked up for this year. So one of these I found via my Liberty London Advent calendar, which is on sale currently. Hopefully it's not sold out by the time you guys watch this video. They do sell out very quickly. I actually think they've launched this a lot earlier, unless I'm just remembering it incorrectly. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but last year they launched the Liberty Advent calendar. They made it available for purchase November 5th, which is still a whole month before December 1st when you would start actually interacting with the calendar. This year I got an email at 7 in the morning the other morning. It was late September that this thing is available, which I was like, what? So I went, I ordered it, I scrambled because I just didn't want to miss out on it again. Honestly, this sounds really stupid, but that was like the highlight of my Christmas last year. I enjoyed it the entire month and I still am using the products in it. I still have hyaluronic acid that I'm going through. I mean, the stuff lasts forever and it's really incredible stuff, but you can watch my video on that. I will leave it above and below. The point that I'm trying to get to is I got a set of tester perfumes for one of the days by this Wilhelm Perfumery in New York. And I never heard of them before, which is one of the great things about these advent calendars is that you can, you know, try out new brands and things with relatively low risk. And so it had this set of like 4 or 5 perfumes that you could test out from this brand. And honestly, I pretty much hated all of them. And the only reason I even started using them was because I was trying to clean out my little beauty cupboard and I had just all these tester perfumes and I thought, let's just use them. So I was using a different perfume every like 3 or 4 days and I was just like tossing them out as I was going through them. Didn't really like any of them. Nothing was sticking. Until I got to, I'm not lying, the last tester perfume from this brand, and it was called Dear Polly. I don't know the story behind the name. I might look it up in a second. I'm sure I'll get more context there, but oh my gosh, I haven't fallen in love with a fragrance like this since the Noir 29. Like I didn't have to fall in love with this one because my boyfriend's insanely good at picking out scents and he just did such an incredible job of capturing my personality in a sense. So like this of course was love, but it wasn't like a self-found love. Like I didn't pick it. Noir 29 I found and was like obsessed with. This one is so great. Like I don't know what else to say about it other than that. So let me look up some details on it for you. So price, okay, so let me start with like strong wise. I would say this is also medium strong. Not quite as strong as the Labo, but still not like a light fragrance by any means. And price wise, this is 100 milliliters, which I actually really like the 100 milliliter size because it means I can travel with it. As you guys know, that's a big thing for me, being able to travel with my stuff. And so you can get the, oh wait, no, this is the 50 milliliter. Sorry, I spoke wrong. You can get the 100 milliliter for $250. This is the 50 milliliter, which this is also 50 milliliters. So this one is $215. This one is $150. So that's a pretty significant price difference of almost $100, a little bit less. So here's the deal behind Dear Polly. The top notes are bergamot and apple. Okay, so I think every single one of these perfumes has had bergamot in it, so I think that's clearly a sign for me. That's what I like. Apple is a new one though. I haven't really thought about that one. Ooh, this one also has black tea in it. This one had black tea in it. Or maybe it was this one. I'll watch this back and you guys are probably screaming at me right now, but it says, tea for 2 in the morning, distance is nothing to the heart. The scent of black tea brewed just how she likes it, and the crispness of morning light slowly easing away the night that still clings to the senses. Ceylon black tea immediately warms the skin while sensuous musks simmer below. I love that. It is kind of like a morning fragrance. Maybe they went for the yellow because of that. I continue, sorry. So the middle notes are black tea. The base notes are oak moss, musk, and black ember. Hold up. This sounds so freaking similar to this one. One moment, please. Let me check this out. Okay, that's crazy, but it also makes sense because I love these so much. This makes so much sense now. Okay, so back to the Noir 29. I'm reading this off my phone, mind you. Okay, so this says that this has the bergamot, bay leaves, cedarwood, and musk. Now let's go back to Dear Polly. This has bergamot, musk, and that's it. But still, they're very overlapping. Isn't that crazy? I swear there was black tea in one of these. I swear. Anyway, very similar vibes. So if you like any one of these, you'll probably like the others, what I'm trying to say. So now we're gonna dive into the final fragrance, which I did something that I never do. And yes, this is kind of a celebrity fragrance. This is definitely a designer fragrance. This is by Prada. So you can probably guess which one this is. Yes, I was influenced by Emma Watson. I will say it right here and now. I love Emma Watson and she can do no wrong in my opinion. So when I saw that I watched the whole YouTube of her directing the commercial for this. I will also leave that link down below because it's freaking amazing. And I really wanted to get it. I went to Sephora in person, which was a trek and a big deal for me, to smell it because I wasn't going to buy a perfume that I had never smelled before. And I wasn't that blindly trusting of Emma Watson or Prada. So went to Sephora. It was gone. I think someone stole it, to be honest, because like the space was there, but all the testers were gone. The actual perfume bottle was gone. Of course, this was in Soho, so like I'm sure someone just grabbed it. But anyway, the perfume was not there. So I was like, all right, it wasn't meant to be, like I'm not getting this perfume. Then I really sat on it for a while and then I just bought it. I just bought it. I went for the smallest size I could get from Sephora. This is 1 ounce, which is perfect again for travel. So I was like, okay, even if it sucks, like I'll get it. I love this bottle, by the way. I love that it kind of like, it's triangle, kind of moves back and forth. It's also refillable, which is fantastic. So you can get a little refiller and refill the bottle, which is just a very smart thing to do, and other fragrance companies should do that. And Yeah, so the thing that made me pull the trigger and frankly order this from Sephora is I was watching one of Victoria McGrath's videos from New York Fashion Week, and she was talking, I think it was one of the Fashion Week videos, whatever. She was talking about this fragrance and how much she loved it, and she was like, this fragrance is like my personality in a fragrance. And so I was influenced and I was like, oh, okay, like she likes it, like I'll probably like it. So then it arrived and I was like, please smell good, please smell good, please smell good. And I got it and I smelled it and I was like, I don't know. Like, this is so different from anything that I normally, like all of the fragrances I have here are stronger, are more intense fragrances. And this one is more, I'm wearing it right now. When you spray it, especially at first, it's just lighter, it's more feminine, and it was just different than anything that I have. So I was like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if what I've done here, but let me tell you what scents are inside of it. So, Prada, and this is called Paradox. Sorry, I don't think I actually said that. I do like their like slogan and the whole like campaign and everything around this. It's very much about celebrating being a multi-dimensional woman, which I think we all can relate to, unless you're not a woman, but being a multi-dimensional person, let's say that. I think everyone can relate to that. It's not just for women. And they say, the floral ambery fragrance embraces the paradoxes of iconic ingredients to reveal new scented sensations. With dominating notes of neroli and jasmine, they have white flower bouquet is twisted with ambrofix and serenolide, which means absolutely nothing to me. So tell me more about the fragrance notes. Okay, so they say that the top notes are neroli and jasmine, two things that I've never honestly smelled before, nor clearly are in any of these perfumes. And yeah, so the neroli bud, that's a flower. It also has amber. Oh, okay, ambrofix. It's, okay, all right. So I think these are sort of like artificial something manipulated fragrances. So like amber, I'm aware of. Clearly a lot of these also have amber in them. So this has, let's start again, here we go. Neroli, which is a flower, amber, and it's ambrofix, which is a bioconverted amber, which is revealing a vibrant warmth, and then intense white musks. Okay, so the amber and musks are nice, synonymous with what I already have, but then the jasmine is something a little new. So I do love that it's sort of mixing a little bit of the old with a little bit of the new, and I love it. It's been great. It's a light fragrance. So this one I would put into the light category. And part of that I don't like because I end up having to spray a lot of it, or like I might want to reapply it throughout the day, but I also just like it because it's very different than what I have currently. And yeah, I just think it's a great addition to my collection. So if you like any of the ones that I've just kind of gone through, or maybe you're just looking for a new perfume to shake it up with, very pleased with the Prada Paradox. And I'm just so excited to now have some new kind of smells to play around with this fall, and to, yeah, add to my overall brand, shaking it up a little bit, which is always good. It's always healthy. So I hope this helped, and happy perfume hunting, and I will see you all in my next video.